Last time on Long Distance Dungeons and Dragons Dinner Theater. In Oestra, Aristophanes, bored in the dancing hut, decided to go hunting for some of the strange swamp wildlife after being warned against it by locals at the bar, and after disposing of some vicious mosquito swarms, bumped into a dangerous black swamp dragon, and fled in mist form immediately back to the landfill shores surrounding the Delbook Dome, only to face off against more insects, and after battle returned to the Swamp Fox Tavern in Delbook and started a conversation with the two kitsune that ran the place about his recent encounter, only to discover the tavern owner to be a former Skyfox assassin. And after she regaled him with tales of Donnie Dragonslayer's accomplishments, Aristophanes convinced her young cousin to come along with him on a dragon hunting adventure, and later that night returned to the bar looking for more mercenaries to join them, and hired a troop of barbarians and took them all back to the hut to rest before the hunt. But late in the evening a barbarian decided to make soup, and in doing so teleported the hut and everyone inside to a nearby peninsula south of Delbook, so they all began cracking eggs to convince the hut to circumnavigate the swamp, and reached the northern edge where they parked the hut. And after a short pep talk, they all headed into the swamp in search of the black dragon. But when they found it, they realized they were not as brave as they thought they were, and fled back to the hut in quite a hurry, losing several barbarians along the way, Black Dragon still close behind them. And now, Long Distance Dungeons and Dragons Dinner Theater continues.
Initiative.
I got a 30 for the dragon.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
11 for your barbarians. And 18 for Boogie. So it'll go Dragon, Boogie, Barbarians, you. Is that correct?
I think so.
All right, well, here we go.
It's gonna be bad.
I need all of you to make a Fortitude save.
7.
Not good. For Boogie, I rolled a 13. Also not good enough. For your Barbarians, I rolled a 3 plus something. So 10. Not good enough. All of you are sickened by the smell. This dragon seems to be covered in some sort of secretion, some sort of acidic, oily fluid that smells really bad, and you're all sickened by it. So you're all going to take a -2 on attack, -2 on damage, -2 on all saving throws, -2 on all skill checks, and -2 on all ability checks. Basically -2 on anything you roll right now.
Okay.
-2. If you roll it, just -2 and assume that's right. That will last for 10 rounds.
Okay. Here's what I want to do.
Okay, you're inside the hut or on the porch, whichever one you choose.
So I want to. I can't believe I'm doing this, but it actually kind of fits in with how my character is. So I say, look, guys, Team Storm Surge has been defeated. We've taken heavy losses, and I think we need to cut our losses here and run. From here on out, as leader of Team Storm Surge, I am dissolving this fellowship, and I'm saying from here on out, it's every man for himself.
What are you trying to do? Is it either diplomacy or intimidate, depending on what you're trying to tell them to do, really?
I'm trying to tell them it's every man for himself.
In order to convince them to do what? Either fight or flee. Which one are you trying to convince them to do, I think?
I'm not actually trying to convince them of anything. I'm releasing them from their contract because I'm about to hightail it the fuck out of here.
So they can either stay or go. That's their choice, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're like either stay in the hut or get off the hut, is what you're saying.
Every man for himself. Do what you think is best for the situation. Myself,
all right.
I'm getting the fuck out of
I'm
here.
gonna roll percentage chance to see who sticks with you and who doesn't. For Barbarians, I rolled a 1. Barbarians flee. They think you're crazy. This is dumb. They're getting out of here. They flee north towards Fairmay. And they're like, this guy's got a dragon chasing us. They get out of the hut. They keep going. I rolled a 29 for Boogie also, which is also too low to convince him to go. He was more convinced than they were, but not enough. He starts climbing down the ropes. Unfortunately, as these guys are fleeing and as Boogie's fleeing, I still had initiative, so my guy still gets to attack. The stench was just a natural thing. So you say all this stuff, and as these guys are fleeing, he's going to attack them. He's got a breath weapon that's an 80-foot line of acid, which he's gonna spray in their direction.
Oh my god!
And be able to get all of them and the chicken legs of the hut, although the hut's pretty magical, so we'll talk about that in a second. Everyone in the range of that attack gets a DC 24 reflex save to half the damage. So yeah, so first for that, I will roll for Boogie, who gets a 18 reflex save, which is a fail. I will roll for the Barbarians as a group, because like I said, I'm lazy. I got a 16 for them, so they fail. I will roll for the hut. Hut's got pretty high reflexes, actually. I got a 28, which is enough. So the hut will take half damage. And the hut also has fast healing. So it heals itself after it gets hurt. So it probably won't be as bad for the hut.
Well, it's probably going to be pretty bad for everybody else. Because I have to roll 14d6.
27 plus 26, 53. Yeah, that's gonna wipe out Boogie, and all your barbarians are melted in acid, totally dead, melted to the bone. Nothing left of any of those guys. The hut, on the other hand, just takes a little damage. What? How much did I say? 53?
Yeah.
33.
So, when in doubt, missed out.
Alright, you're gonna mist away from the hut?
Yeah, I'm a missed out, or stealth bonus.
Yeah. The only problem with this is the dragon can still see the hut. So are you leaving the hut? Are you staying in the hut as a mist? Where are you going if you're a mist?
I'm inside the hut, right?
Correct.
Dragon is still... Where is the dragon in relation?
The dragon is approaching the hut pretty close. It's probably about 60 feet away from your hut. Just spewing acid breath at your hut right now. Like at the base of it, murdering all the guys that just tried to flee.
Oh, man. Do I...
See like the skin melting off the legs of the chicken leg hut.
Does chicken hut have any offensive capabilities, I wonder?
I don't know. You were pretty much asleep whenever Cersei was operating it, so you're not sure. You can roll a knowledge arcana to see if you maybe picked up something or have heard something.
7.
Alright, you don't know a whole lot, except that whenever you make soup, it teleports somewhere, so maybe if you made a soup, you could get out of here. And you could use eggs to make it move, so maybe you can use an egg to make it run. Those are the things you know already, so that's kind of all you're going to know.
How...
I mean, it's got legs. You could probably talk it into attacking, but then again, you don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to use this hut to attack a dragon or not. That's up to you also to decide.
Yeah.
You could probably tell the legs to kick or attack, or you might be able to assume that. You could probably tell it to attack or flee or run a certain direction or teleport by making soup.
I don't have a whole lot of time here, right? Do I have enough time to crack an egg?
You have 6 seconds. That's going to be a standard action, but yeah, that'll be your standard to be doing that use magic device check. If it was just cracking an egg, I may let it be a swift, but because it's use magic device check, it's going to be a standard.
Should I abandon the hut? Should I use it to fight the dragon?
And if you abandon the hut, is there anything stopping the dragon from attacking it?
I've already misplaced Will's hut. Do I really want to have it destroyed by a dragon? But...
You can always run. You can tell it to flee a direction and hope that the swamp dragon doesn't want to be far from the swamp. Most dragons seem to be pretty territorial and are not usually likely to leave a certain area. They usually have a territory. In your experience with dragons, you there was one on the Skyfox Mountains. At least you heard rumor that there was one where there's guys worshipped in the mountains. Those other monks that were dedicated as Skyfoxes that were guarding the mountain, guarding the dragon. So there's certain dragons have taken up habitat in certain places, and they kind of keep that territory as their own. And most of them don't leave the place they feel the safest.
I could probably outrun it.
Your speed and the dragon's speed are pretty similar, unless it's flying. It fly way faster, but you would also know that it doesn't fly very well. It seems to swim better. At least from seeing it fly right now, it seems to be flying pretty poorly towards you guys. And like I said, it's not like you get far away from the swamp, so if you just headed away from it, maybe you'd be able to convince it if you're fleeing enough, it's not going to come after you. It's probably just trying to get you away from its swamp. It woke up the first time when you trespassed on the swamp, when you had gotten in the water. Same thing this time. Kind of when you guys just got close enough to bother it, woke up, kind of thing. You're in its territory. You've experienced territorial animals before. If you leave its territory, it's likely to go back to its nest. It's not trying to eat you, it's just trying to scare you away. And it's succeeding. You are scared and you want to flee. It did have that frightful aura, and I think you guys failed. So right now, your mode right now is still flight. You're still in flight mode. I don't think you would be thinking stay and fight. This thing caused fear for you. This caused fear for 10 rounds. You're frightened. You want to flee. One way or another. You either want to make this. You either want to make this hut run, or you want to make it teleport somewhere. Those are your two options right now. Get the hell out of here, one way or another.
Okay, so I'll just make it run away from the dragon.
Which direction would you like to flee?
Let's see. Let's flee up towards... What's that town's name up north of us?
That's Fairmay.
And then can I flee there? So that's going to be northeast.
Crack me an egg. With no help, though.
Probably going to have to search this. Well, can Billy help me out?
You know what? Billy can help you out.
Sweet. Billy's going to roll a natural 20.
This dragon was coming for you guys. Everyone's scared, and Billy sighs and cracks an egg. Is let's run north, hut. Billy just takes care of business for you. That's what happens with Billy's natural 20. Billy just handles the shit. Everyone else is panicking and being totally scared because a dragon's coming. And Billy's it's just a dragon, and he cracks the egg. He's run north. The hut runs north towards Fairmay.
Oh my god. So, do we lose the dragon before long?
Let me roll a percentage chance. The dragon does seem to pursue you for a while. It does sort of fall back as you guys near the fields just outside of Fairmay. You guys do trample some of the crops there, though.
Uh-oh.
In the hut.
Oh, we should probably stop then. Can we crack another egg?
Yep, crack it. You or Billy.
So, Billy's going to roll a 17. I'm going to roll a 7.
You guys keep trampling fields.
No, wait, that's a 22, right? Can I surge it?
That's a 24.
That's a 6.
Just enough. Hut stops. Just shy of trampling a scarecrow.
Okay.
The hut is now stopped, facing north. The front door and the porch facing north. You can see Ferme. Ferme is probably about 120, 140 feet away. Very small town. A halfling village, I believe. Farmers, as they call themselves. So the buildings there are much smaller, but you can see that from the field. You're like the northern edge of one of their fields. You trampled some stuff. But you can see the tiny village from here. Perception check.
21.
You see a lot of trolls.
Oh, shit.
They don't seem to notice you, though. There are a lot of trolls patrolling the city. You can see them from the window of your hut.
They're patrolling the city?
Yeah, they seem to be carrying weapons, walking around. Seems to be very early in the morning at this point.
Why would trolls be patrolling a halfling city? There must be something going on here.
They seem to all be wearing the same colored uniforms, carrying the same weapons as someone, like if someone issued them clothes and weapons.
What do I want to do? Do I want to approach this city? So, the old plan has gone completely to shit. Fellowship has been broken. We failed in our mission to slay the dragon. Failed horribly. That went about as badly as it could have possibly gone. Half my team was dead before I even reached the dragon. Rough neighborhood.
Devil's Cauldron.
Oh, man. Oh, poor Boogie. It's a hard way to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back to that tavern for a while.
Fuck. You want me to lie to her?
Yeah, like come back in a year and be like, oh man, he just kicked the bucket a week ago.
Not that he died on his very first adventure.
First time out, acid breath.
Oh, man. Poor kid. But, that's life, Time you go out on an adventure. What am I going to do with his hut?
Like it's hard to abandon, it's hard to hide. It's not in any way protected, it's not locked. You can't lock the door.
Fuck it. We're going to go for a walk then.
Where are you walking?
Is that a forest next to this town?
Yep.
How far are we from that forest?
30, 40 feet from the forest. You're probably one of the most western fields.
I'm going to go to bed real quick.
Take a quick nap in my hut.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a full night's sleep.
How many hours?
12?
Alright, 12 hours of rest. Storms throughout the night.
Nothing else, though.
Nope.
I'm going to climb down from the hut. I'm going to stealth my way into the forest.
Alright, stealth in the forest. Roll me a stealth check to stealth into forest.
It's going to be 17.
It's not a bad stealth.
And I'm looking for signs of game.
Alright, well you're going to have an encounter, so you're going to find some.
I'm stealthing though. Do they see turkeys perhaps? A couple turkeys? Maybe some wild hogs? Ducks? I wouldn't mind encountering some ducks.
Ducks would be nice.
And I can't believe how badly that mission went. It was just a complete disaster. I barely made it out with my life.
Yeah, you see it before it sees you.
What is it?
Roll me a perception.
17.
Yeah, you see what looks like a mass of plant matter about the shape and build of a really big dog, but with no head. Sort of like a fungus that is covered in little jagged thorns. It's like a thorny mushroom about the size and shape of a dog.
Thorny mushroom, size and shape of dog.
Sort of on the edge of the forest near the swamp. Growing near one of the bases of the trees. Just one of them. You're about 40 foot away from it right now. I'll give you initiative because you saw it, so you get auto initiative.
That's good. Oh, 7.
Shoot an arrow at it and you miss, which means it's its turn. It's going to be a 14 versus your AC as it charges towards you and tries to bite you.
My AC is 17.
So yeah, it is unable to bite you. Now this thorny fungus monster has moved from the southern edge of this tree. It's like, detached itself and charged at you.
I'm going to move away from it.
This can provide an attack of opportunity unless you acrobatics, and that'll only move you back 5 foot.
And that'll be would that be a standard action, or would that be
That'd be your move. Action? Usually I'll let you acrobatics as a move.
It's going to be 14.
No. So you don't move.
Alright,
You jump back, but you're not going to jump back more than like 5 paces. So you're not going to be able to leave your 5-foot square, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like jumping up instead of jumping backwards.
I guess I'll just attack it then. Fuck it.
So you jump up in the air, and then what do you do? Swing it at it or shoot at it?
Quarterstaff it. It's gonna be 18.
18's a hit.
So that'd be a 7.
7 damage. Alright, it's going to try to shoot a thorn cluster at you. As you jump in the air, it launches a cluster of thorns at you. I rolled an 11 versus your AC, which is a miss. So some thorns like whiz right by you.
Woo! Thorny situation. I'm gonna swing at it again. 20, not natural.
That's a hit.
8 damage.
Damage. 15 versus your AC. As it launches more
17.
thorns at you. As it misses again.
Woo! I'm gonna keep whacking at him.
Do it.
It's gonna be an 11.
Miss. It's going to be a 9, which is a miss. As it shoots more thorns at you. Launching out of its little fungal body.
17.
Hit.
Wait, 5 damage.
Damage. I got an 18 versus your AC.
17.
That's a hit. That's going to be 3 damage. And I need you to make a fortitude save.
Natural 20, total 25.
Yeah, you were not affected by the poison
Woo!
inside of
Nice.
these thorns.
19.
Hit.
10.
11 versus your AC, so not enough. So the miss.
Oh, damn it, I rolled a 10.
I rolled an 8. So
That's gonna be a 9.
miss. This time I got a 23.
Fuck. It's a hit.
As it bites at you, doing 2 damage. I need you to make a fortitude save, and then tell me what your CMD is.
Fortitude's gonna be 16.
So that's enough.
CMD is 15.
I only rolled a 12, so it does not trip you. Tries to trip you and fails. It's your
I'm
turn.
gonna keep beating it in the face with
Alright.
my quarterstaff.
Hit it.
20, not natural.
It's a hit.
7 damage.
It's going to be a 22 versus your AC.
Damage, it's a hit.
It's going to be 7 damage. I need you to make a fortitude save, and then tell me your CMD again.
Fortitude's gonna be a 11, plus the surge. It's gonna be 17.
That's enough. And your CMD was what?
CMD is 15.
I rolled an 18 this time, so it is going to trip you.
Fuck.
You are now knocked prone.
Can I acrobatics something really cool off the ground?
Yeah, that will not provoke an attack of opportunity if you succeed. If you fail, it still will. But if you succeed, it will not provoke an attack of opportunity.
So I'm gonna roll for acro. Ooh, oh no. 18.
18 is going to be good enough.
I'm gonna like fucking spin off my back like a break dancer.
I like it. I'm doing like a
Leap
cool...
away and land on my feet.
You do a little worm.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. So that's successful. You successfully jump back to your feet without being attacked. You still have a standard and a swift.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna keep whacking away. 17.
17's a hit.
5 damage. My rolls have not been the best this game.
I rolled a 2 plus 6, so it's only 8. It's a miss, of course. So back to you again.
I mean 20, not natural.
It's a hit.
11 damage.
I rolled a 16 versus your AC.
17.
So it's your turn.
Woo! 20, not natural.
It's a hit.
13 damage.
You've knocked this thing unconscious.
Nice.
You gain 800 experience points. This thing's unconscious in front of you. This fungusy, thorny, dog-like creature.
800, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll a knowledge nature on this thing to figure out what the hell it is?
Hell, fuck yeah. Yes, you may.
It's gonna be a 19.
This is a creature known as a thorny. Definitely a fungus, a poisonous fungus that is living, mobile. You do know that if you could kill it, you could collect its poison, or even while it's unconscious, you could probably collect the poison while it's, not attacking. Thorny cluster fungus that is able to walk around like a small animal. Sometimes called vegapigmy hounds.
Well, if I can collect, you say thorns, or is it like a poison it secretes, or...
It's a poison that secretes through its thorns. You have to milk the thorns to get the poison.
Would I need some sort of special container for that?
I mean, if you have a vial of any kind, that'll work. Any container really will work fine as long as you have an empty container to put it in.
Yeah, cool. Can I milk its thorns?
Yep.
How much venom can I get? Well, can I just milk it onto my arrows?
You may. This is going to be a 5% chance that you expose yourself to the poison. Have to do a save. So it's only percentage chance. I'll let you roll 1% chance. If it's below 5.
96.
Let's see how many arrows you can tip. 19. You can have 19 arrows tipped with this particular thorny poison.
Fuck yeah.
You can apply this to 19 arrows, or you can add extra doses to arrows to increase the DC by 1. You can add like a double dose if you want.
Can I do them all double doses except for one?
That's fine.
Okay.
So cut your number in half. So
that's going to be...
on your normal one, the fortitude save is a DC 14. But all the rest of them would be a DC 15.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how much damage does it... yeah, what is poison damage?
Yeah, the poison damage for this one is once a round for 3 rounds. So if they fail this fortitude save, this goes on for 3 rounds. It does 1d2 dex damage per round.
Per round.
Yeah,
okay.
for 3 rounds. The cure is 1 save. So they get 3 rounds to try and make this save. They either succeed before taking the damage 3 times, or they fail and take it 3 times, and they're fine after that. So maximum 3d2 dex damage, minimum 1d2, or 0d2 if they make the first fortitude save. But.
Excellent. Alright, so...
And you kill this thing, but it's mostly just a big fungus, and you kind of extracted what you could from it.
Yeah.
Not much more is worth anything, because you can't sell it if someone wants to eat it. You pretty much got all the poison you could out of it while it was, alive.
Can I use my survival skill to see if I can pick up the trail of some small game?
Yeah. Roll it.
It'll be a 20, not natural.
There is some sign of antelope nearby. Yeah, you see a herd of 50 antelope.
How far away are they from me? They don't notice me yet, do they?
Roll a stealth.
Natural 20 for a total of 31.
Okay, I got a 23, which is still lower than a 31, so you're stealthy. You're on the edge of the woods. They're probably sort of towards the northern edge of the woods.
Cool.
Almost out in the clearing.
Am I able to get close enough to pull off a couple shots?
With that stealth, you're at least able to get close enough to pull off one shot. I mean, after one shot is will reveal lower your stealth. You have to re-roll stealth after every shot because you are giving away your position. So
right.
the smartest thing to do if you're going to shoot and stealth is to shoot, then move, and then stealth again to re-hide.
I'm going to shoot and move. 17 total.
17's a hit.
It's going to be a 2 damage.
2 damage.
And I'm stealthing away. They
Right.
can't trace me.
So you move and roll me another stealth to re-hide as you prick 1 antelope.
It's going to be a 25.
Good enough stealth, probably. I'll roll it. Oh yeah, great stealth. They don't see you still. And this one antelope is startled because he's got pricked in the butt by an arrow. So he's definitely stirred and seems startled. It's going to cause some commotion. Some of the herd starts to move sort of slightly north, not running necessarily, but definitely altering due to some sort of weird shakeup in the herd. But it's your turn again.
Let's see if I can get in another shot.
At the same one.
Okay, is he clear enough?
Yeah, you can do it.
Shot?
I mean, if you can roll it for me.
It's going to be a 19.
That's a hit.
Okay, and this is going to be, I'm shooting one of my poison arrows. Damage is going to be 4, and it's going to be 1 arrow with 1 dose.
Yeah. It's unconscious. It succeeds its fortitude save, but it doesn't matter because it's unconscious. So, you've knocked one unconscious. That's going to stir the rest of the herd. They're going to flee north all at once, sort of stampeding towards Fairmay. And there's 1 antelope body left laying there in the clearing just north of the woods as the rest go sort of flee towards the town.
Okay, I'm going to walk up and I want to skin the bodies, take the pelt.
Okay, you get 200 experience points. You get the pelt, antelope hide. It has very sturdy horns arching back from its head, so it's a male antelope with horns.
I'm going to take the rack. I'm going to add some antelope meat to my store rations.
Probably about 4 days of antelope meat, about 60 pounds of meat, a little less.
I'm going to take the eyeballs, the penis, and its heart.
Alright, as long as you have something to store them in.
Bag.
It's like throwing some organs in a bag. That seems pretty messy, dude, but it's going to be like a mush by the time you get it all taken.
What if I dried them?
How do you propose drying them?
Draining them of blood and then drying them on rocks in the sun.
Roll me a survival check to dry out some organs and stuff.
12.
Not great. Let's see how much that stuff survives. About half of it. So subtract half of what you said you got. About half of that survived.
Okay.
So if you said 5 things, pick 2 or 3 of them that you get to keep, and the rest don't make it.
The eyeballs, the heart, and the dick.
Nothing else makes it. Nothing else dries out.
Awesome. Well, still worth it. Let's do it again.
All right.
Can I roll to see if I pick up something's trail?
Yeah. Roll survival.
15.
I mean, those antelope just headed into the town, which is probably a horrible place to hunt antelope, because it's in the middle of, you seem to have chased them out of the woods, into a town.
I want to stick to the woods.
Yeah, so you probably don't want to follow them into the town. There's trolls there, and you probably just, scared a whole herd into this village.
Whoops.
Other than that, though, it seems sort of quiet here. You don't notice much else. There are some signs of sheep and rabbit. The sheep seem like they're in a herd, like they might belong to someone. The rabbit, you see the tracks, but rabbit are hard to catch and more active at night.
I'm going to stealth onto a different area of the forest. And can I roll for... See if I pick up on a trail there.
Yeah, roll me survival.
26.
That's pretty good. It's growing dark outside. The clouds sort of forming around the moon. It's becoming nighttime. Sort of gray out. Another late night cold drizzle. So you follow what look like horse tracks into the woods. Roll me stealth. I rolled a 19 perception.
It's going to be a 13 stealth.
Alright, you're going to see this thing. You're going to spook it. There are 4 dark black ebony massive stallions. Very small herd. Very strange to see. Look different than any horses you've ever seen.
Can I roll a knowledge nature to see if I can know anything else about them?
Sure.
18.
And they have black skin, black manes, inky black hooves. They seem so dark that they almost seem like they're not from this world. You might need to roll a knowledge planes.
15.
You don't know a whole lot, but you do know these horses aren't from this plane. That's not a natural horse. You're a druid. That is not an animal. That is an outsider. That's an animal from another plane of existence. That's not a prime material horse.
Weird.
That's a different kind of horse.
Different kind of horse. Hey,
Not-
can I ask Billy
it ain't normal.
if he might know anything about these strange horses?
Yeah, roll me diplomacy. I rolled high enough that he knows a little bit, so if you have a good diplomacy.
15.
He'll say they're known as the ebony horses. Very rare to come across. Not valuable dead so much as that they'll vanish either into a puff of air, a pile of dirt, a ball of fire, or a splash of water if you kill them. But they are known to be very loyal, very fast, horses able to fly even, able to travel through the various elemental planes unharmed.
Okay.
A
Nice.
very rare, strange creature, known to be fiercely loyal and always protect their riders.
Looking for a spell where I can affect an animal's mood towards me.
Darn.
Now be warned, your dragon just warned you they are not technically animals. They are outsiders that appear to be horses.
Oh, they appear to be horses.
Yes. They are in the shape of a horse, but they are not the animal horse. They are from another plane of existence. They just, on this plane, appear to look like horses for your feeble mind.
You all want to fuck with this. This sounds...
They're not the kind of creature you want to fight, but if you could have one as an ally or as a mount, Billy will tell you that. These horses can be a great ally.
Would we speak the same language, I wonder?
Roll me a linguistics.
10.
You don't know a lot, but you know that your first instinct whenever you go to a new place is try common, and if that doesn't work, then move on to something else.
So I'm going to attempt to speak to these guys
Alright,
from a safe distance.
So you can either speak and let them know where you are, or you can speak and then move in stealth afterwards.
I think I want to play it safe. Speak and move in stealth.
Alright, so what do you say before you move in stealth?
Wow, I hadn't thought far. I'm going to say, what do you say to an extra-dimensional horse?
That's the most beautiful philosophical statement I've ever heard.
I don't know, I just send them a greeting and say, what manner of creature are you?
They all sort of like neigh back at you and start looking around. 5 of them vanish. 1 remains.
One remains?
Yep, 5 of them vanished to somewhere. You can't tell where they seem to have vanished to some other place. No, they didn't seem to go invisible. It's like they're somewhere else now. They're not here anymore. 1 remains. Seems to be the runt of the group. Is looking around very nervously. Not quite as large as the rest of them.
Can I make another attempt at communication?
You may.
Gonna tell him not to be afraid. I don't mean him any harm. And I'm gonna stealth away.
Alright, roll me a diplomacy check, and then your stealth.
Diplomacy is gonna be a 7.
Ooh. Yeah, you're going to spook him. I'm going to roll percentage chance to see if he flees. He does not flee, but he has definitely seemed very apprehensive. He's sort of moving the direction away from your voice.
Stealth is an 18.
Yeah, it's looking your direction, although it doesn't seem to like... You can't tell exactly where you are, but it's looking, definitely where your voice came from. It doesn't see you yet, though, so it's still your turn again.
Do I risk communicating again? Fine, I'm gonna do the same thing I did last round.
What do you say?
The exact same thing. Don't be afraid, I don't mean you any harm. Just want to talk.
Okay, roll me it.
It's gonna be a 12 on diplomacy.
Alright, I got a 20 on sense motive, so even though it wasn't very well spoken, the horse doesn't seem as afraid.
20 on stealth, not natural.
I got a 27 on perception, so it's still looking your direction.
I'm gonna ask it again. I'm gonna de-stealth.
Alright, so you come out from behind a tree or whatever and show yourself.
See how it reacts.
You're now face to face with this large horse, which is 1 size larger than a normal horse, so almost elephant-sized horse, I guess. You come out from behind your hiding spot and you see this very big horse. It sees you. You're probably about 20 feet away from it, 19, 20 feet. It's not fleeing yet.
So I greet it and tell it my name. Him, right? Or her? Him?
That's a him.
Alright.
You can see its big black dick.
So I introduce myself to it and ask it who it is. Him, who he is.
Campbell.
His name is Campbell. My next question is, what is it? What manner of creature are you? You're clearly not of this plane.
Here I am known as the Ebony Horse. Me and my kind travel between the planes. We are the horses that can carry you here and there.
You ever contract out your services?
What is a contract?
Horses have no sense of business. People overpay you for your services.
What? Pay me with what?
I don't know. You do a favor for somebody does a favor for you, barter.
We take allies.
I don't know if I want to go to another plane, though. That seems dangerous. Plus, how would I have any guarantee of getting back?
On this horse's back, you'd have no problem. Once a day, this horse can shift between the planes, so at least once a day it can take yourself plus itself plus at least 5 others. If you want to, I'll say if you want to roll knowledge planes, I'll give this information. I'm already giving it to you, so just roll something not really low.
12?
Yeah, this thing can move through planes. Not all of the planes, but you or itself and 5 others. To any of the elemental planes, so fire, water, air, earth, the astral plane, or back to the material plane.
A question comes to mind.
It also has endurance in these areas, so if you are nearby it, you get protection from these elements as long as you're near it.
In my quest to progress through my chosen domain as a storm druid, would it benefit me at all to visit an elemental plane?
Yeah, especially like the plane of air if you're looking to control storms and weather. There's even, in the elemental planes, on one of the borders of the plane of air, there's a storm plane, basically, where storms exist in where it's like all storm. Yeah, there could be things you could gain from that.
I'm going to ask this ebony horse with its large dick if he would mind giving me passage to one of the elemental planes and back again.
Roll me diplomacy.
It's going to be a 16, excuse me.
Yeah.
I didn't add.
16's okay. He'll grant you this. One trip to one plane and back. He warns you can only do it once a day, so wherever he takes you, you're going to be stuck there for at least 24 hours until he can rest again. So we'll have to get to this plane and find a place for him to rest before he can bring you back. You'll travel together. You'll be allies. As long as you remain by his side, you have elemental endurance, and you can remain on this plane for up to 24 hours within a 30-foot radius of this horse and be protected from any of the negative effects of these planes. You can also fly if you just want to fly somewhere.
So I would like to take him up on that offer. Would he be willing to stand by a second while I said a quick prayer to my deity?
Horse is willing to wait.
I'm going to pray to Gozra.
Alright.
Meditate really hard here. And I'm going to say, Gozra, that I have the opportunity here to visit an elemental plane, the air domain. And the purpose of doing so is to see if I can't learn or commune with an element conducive to me being a storm druid. I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, that's what I'm
Good sentiment either way. You want to go to the storm to the airplane to get some shit closer to what you're doing. You want to commune with. You want to commune with that. You want to commune with the clouds.
Yeah, and I want Gozer's blessing, I guess.
Yeah.
To do that.
Of course, druids. She always encourages druids to explore nature, especially elements they're especially interested in. Which you're obviously interested in, the storm and the clouds. Wishes you great luck in your endeavors.
Now I'm ready.
All right.
Campbell. Is it a horse named Campbell?
Yep. You mount Campbell. And he transports you magically. He flies up into the air and transports you into the plane of air. You find yourself surrounded by a great fog mid-air. If you weren't riding on the horse's back, you would assume you would fall who knows what distance through the bottom of these clouds, which are of course made of mist and are not solid. All around you see like little arcs of lightning shooting here and there. The fog gets thicker above you and darker, and there are more lightning bolts. Below you, the fog gets thinner. You can almost see a hint of blue beneath you, sort of in this like medium range between this very stormy area and this very calm area in the plane of air.
So I have to stay within 30 feet of him.
If you want to be protected from the elements, yes. And he's flying, but if you get off his back, you would probably fall unless you could also fly. There's nothing solid, so if you get off the horse, he can't continue to make you fly. He can only protect you from the lightning and the wind and stuff.
So I got here. I want to head towards the stormier section of this plane.
So you want to fly up?
Yeah, can I ask Campbell?
Roll me a diplomacy to tell Campbell to fly up into the clouds.
6.
He seems apprehensive about flying into the storm.
Can I ask him how close he's willing to get to it?
This close.
How far away is the storm?
In the area where it starts to seem really, really dangerous, it's probably about 600 feet up. Like there's already like small sparks and stuff here, little lightning bolts, but in the area you're in, it's sort of like a light gray. It's not horrible. Definitely gets denser and darker about 600 feet up. It should take him about a minute to get up into, I think.
Well, would he be willing to go up to the very edge of the storm?
I mean, he was already pretty apprehensive. He's gonna go 90 feet per round. Almost 7 rounds, I guess. 7 rounds to fly up into it. So taking that long to fly up that high, I don't think he was convinced. If you want to roll another diplomacy to try and if you want to say something else to try and convince him, give me a motivational speech here.
I'm not trying to do anything crazy. I'm not trying to get you killed, but I'm here to try and up my storm game, and I need to get a little closer to see if I can commune with this thunderhead that's right in front of us. You don't have to go through it, but I want to be close enough so that I can at least feel some rain and wind. Not necessarily close enough to where, you can't fly anymore, but I want to be close enough to at least touch the outer edge of the storm, which you should be able to fly through. I wouldn't actually go get any closer because that would be dangerous.
So you're going to fly. I think that was a good speech, though. Roll it.
Gonna be
I'll give you a bonus.
natural 1.
My bonus isn't strong enough. No, he doesn't want to go up there, dude. Not interested.
Son of a bitch.
He said, if you want to go up there, I'll wait here for you. I'll wait here, and I can take you back tomorrow. I need to find a place to rest, or we're going to teleport back. He says, I can only do this once a day. He says, I got to find a place to rest, and there's no place to rest in this. It's the plane of air. Where am I going to land?
Needs a place to rest before we can actually get back. He can make the trip again, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we should try and find someplace solid for him to land.
Right, so that's going to probably mean leaving the plane of air.
But we can't leave the plane of air unless he rests.
Well, the plane of air does border some of the other planes, so you could physically travel to some of these borders. But the borders are typically the most dangerous places, depending on... I mean, not for this horse, he's protected from all the elements, but those tend to be very contentious places, places of strife.
What other elemental planes does the plane of air touch?
In the place where it borders the water plane, there is what is most likely a plane of ice. So that's solid, but it'd be solid and slippery. There's also the place where it borders fire, which is where there's a lot of firestorms, like solar flare type activity. So the ice one might be a little bit easier to deal with, but still be extreme.
But he's protected from.
Yeah, he's protected from the elements, and so are you as long as you're close by. He just needs a place to land and rest before you guys can go back. So I think he's saying, if you want to fly up into the storm and do your thing, come back to me, and then I need to find a place to rest where we can get back.
Okay. Tell him he has a deal. Here's what I want to do, Brian. And I'm not even sure if this will necessarily gain me anything, but I want to turn into my water vapor form, my mist form.
Yeah.
And I want to go and join the storm up above me. I want to try and commune with it and see if I can learn anything magical, anything that might use.
Alright, you move upward into the clouds. Roll me a perception check.
14.
You see what looks like a vortex of mist and wind. So there's certainly a vortex of this storm directly above you, or it seems to be twirling inward.
Is this like when you're going through that tunnel and you see the light, you're supposed to go to the light?
I don't know, all I'm saying is it seems it's definitely a vortex of the storm, like a place where everything's to be centering around a funnel, a center of activity.
I'm feeling froggy. I'm going to go towards the vortex.
Alright, you head that way. Roll me a perception check.
Oh, God. 8.
You don't see anything. It's more storm. It's just crazier and crazier, because I think it's because you're getting closer to the vortex now. The activity is just more and more violent. It does get more intense the closer you get to this swirling mass, this funnel of black, very dark black clouds and thunderous rumbling and electricity, violence. You're having trouble controlling your flying. You're a storm druid. I'm going to let nothing happen to you here. You prayed. You're good.
I would also look on it as a sort of an
You're in your
endurance
element.
test.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a storm druid, and I'm going to see how much of a storm I can actually withstand.
Yeah, and you're flying towards the eye, so you've been able to fly up in towards this vortex. You probably, while you are surrounded by a bunch of violent activity, you seem to be in the part of it that is protected from that. And you are a mist, so it's not like it can affect you. It's not like you don't have a physical body right now. You're just a ball of mist, so the storm's not going to hurt you. You are water vapor. So you're getting sucked up into this vortex. You're going to get pulled up into the body of a creature.
Uh-oh.
It's fun. You are now part of what is known as a Djinni. Roll me a knowledge planes.
5.
You don't know about the Djinni. You got sucked up to this storm, and at the top of the storm it funneled out into what was almost a humanoid shape. Still made up entirely of mist and wind and clouds. Very large creature, almost the size of a giant.
Does it speak common?
Try and talk to it, but you're a mist, so you can't use your mouth. You can telepathically think something and see if it can speak telepathically.
Why not?
Alright, what do you think?
I say, greetings. I am a storm druid seeking knowledge.
And you say all this in your mind?
Yes.
That's tripping me out, dude. You know what else trips me out? Shit totally works. The genie responds.
Yeah?
This creature, sometimes called a genie,
Yeah.
in some cultures, it's made of, like I said, mist and cloud and thunderstorm. Although not preferring to deal in physical combat, usually known to flee combat and avoid retaliation, known to employ many magical weapons. He's relaying all some knowledge to you about himself. You are a storm druid and you have traveled here. The Jinn offer their aid to those that promise to help against their cause, to fight against their hated enemy, the Ifrit. If you will bound yourself to the same cause to destroy any Ifrit you come across, it will come to your aid. So for every Ifrit you destroy, you're able to call this thing to your aid one time.
So, like, if I'm about to eat shit in the battle, I could, like, call this elemental Djinni and what? Blow them away?
Yeah, for every Ifrit that you destroy, which is the same, like an Ifriti is like a fire genie. This is like an air genie. For every fire genie you kill, this air genie will come to your aid one time.
Can I ask him, how does one kill a fire genie?
I mean, you're the storm druid.
Deal.
Alright, there you go.
Alright, cool. So, I have one more question for him.
Yeah.
Like, ask him, was he born an elemental Djinni, or did he ascend to that level from something else? Like, are you a species, or are you like
his first memory, he says, life is a crazy thing. He says, my first memory is as a Djinni, but that does not, I'm not one to determine if this is my first life or my last or one in the middle. This is all I've ever known. I was born into Djinni.
Has anybody ever come to see you before? Like, surely you've seen other storm-oriented creatures, maybe.
Yeah, this plane is full of other air elemental type creatures.
Huh.
Certainly.
Cool.
Other air elementals, dragon horses, air methods, lightning methods.
So, it's just a matter of how big is this plane? Like,
how big is the material? How big is the material plane?
Yeah. So,
that big.
There's a huge number of possibilities of what could be found out here.
The same numbers could be found on your plane, I would assume. That number of species.
So how does it work with me summoning how does one summon a Djinni? Once I start killing these Ifrit.
Yeah, for everyone that you kill, just mark it down, and that's this thing owing you a favor that you can call in any period of time after doing it. Like, his word, you as a storm druid, his word is a Djinni.
Okay.
If you call him, if you call the Djinni, he'll come. For every favor you do the Djinni will do you one favor.
Alright, I will take my leave of the Djinni. I will thank him graciously and for his willingness to help me. And I'm going to make my way back to my horse.
Alright, you fly back down, and your horse has a gaseous cloud. Your time probably runs out. You start falling. You turn back into material form. Aristophanes. You're now falling through the air, down out of the clouds, plummeting down. Rolling perception check.
6. Motherfucker.
You don't see the horse.
Does the horse see me?
That's a good question.
Because I'm probably screaming my head off right now.
Alright, I'll add that as a bonus for its perception. But I only rolled an 8.
What?
Luckily for you, its perception's a 16, though, so it does see you. I'm gonna roll reflex to swoop in and save you. I'm gonna roll a 7, though.
Come on!
But I got a 10. I got a 10 reflex, so I'm gonna make it. He's just barely gonna be able to scoop you up and rescue you from plummeting to your ultimate demise.
This game gets stressful sometimes.
Yeah, of course. But he catches you.
So
You
I
catch your
recommend
breath.
we go to where air meets water, do you say?
Yeah, you want to go to the ice plane?
Yeah.
All right. You
And
fly towards the
Can
plane
I
of
ask you
ice.
to take the scenic route? I want to drink in as much of this as I can.
Yeah, you can observe all the different cloud shapes, all the different types of clouds.
Yeah. I'm
You
taking notes.
want to talk about it?
Yeah,
Alright,
definitely. So, I've been storm surging a lot throughout the game. That's been like my main attack. Can we say that I've been practicing a lot, and by coming here and observing storms in the most purest element that, I don't know, is there anything I observe extra, or
Yeah, I'm gonna give
some
you
way
some
I
stuff.
piece things together that I didn't know before that offers me some kind of advantage in...
You are now going to learn the 10 basic cloud types, which will give you advantage for as far as like creating storms and using your storm burst. In areas, even in days when I say it's not stormy, you'll be able to observe cloud conditions and be able to adapt it to be such way in a faster condition. So here's what you're going to learn. 10 basic cloud types. Number 1, cirrus.
Okay.
These are detached clouds in the form of white, delicate filaments, sort of like wisps of smoke, usually composed of ice crystals. So these type of clouds are best for doing cold or ice type magic damage with. So if those are the types of clouds you see, then that's the type of magic you want to do. You get a +1 on those spells for casting those type of the spells in those type of clouds.
Sweet.
Cloud type 2, cirrostratus. These are sort of the transparent, whitish, veil-like clouds that you can sort of see light breaking through. Seem sort of smooth, kind of clouds you always see in photographs. Sort of cover the whole sky, sort of like a milky veil of fog that covers the stratosphere. These type of clouds do best for spells that affect the light. You get a +1 to light-based spells in cirrostratus conditions. Cloud type number 3. Make sure you number these, because all I'm going to do whenever you try to use this power is to remind me what they are. I'm going to roll a d10, and like whichever one I roll is the type of clouds they're just going to be. So, type number 3, the cirrocumulus.
Storm cloud? Or approaching a storm cloud?
These are thin white patch sheets of layered clouds, sort of like no shading. Sort of ripply looking clouds.
Ripley layers.
Mm-hmm. These do best for fog type spells, concealment type spells, anything like obscuring mist. Those kind of spells are get a +1 in those types of conditions. Any type of concealment, weather. Cloud type number 4, the altostratus.
Altostratus.
These are grayish blue clouds. Cover most of the sky. You see mostly at night. Seem almost like ground up glass.
Mostly at night.
Sometimes they cause very light precipitation. This is very light drizzle. Not enough to cause extra damage in a storm, but enough for you to whip up a storm from it. So if you have another type of spell that brings in a storm, this is a good start to that. Also, these clouds do best for spells like Fairy Fire, any kind of spell that illuminates the enemy. You get +1 to those kind of spells. Alright, next one is type 5 is the altocumulus. These are white or gray patches of sheets or layered clouds. Lots of rounded masses and rolls.
Okay.
And this type of weather, you get a +1 to acrobatics.
What? Nice.
Type 6, I believe. Cloud type 6 is nimbostratus, which is continuous rain.
Nice.
Sometimes snow, depending on what I roll, but continuous rain or snow if I roll that for that. If you ask what type of cloud it is, and I roll a 6, that's what's going to be. Rainy and gray.
Okay.
Not so very cloudy, but it's like thick gray, slow diffused rain or snow. It's not a heavy rain, just like a light rain or light snow, but that constant like misty snow, you know what I mean? Like even though it doesn't seem like a whole lot, it builds up really fast, that kind of
Sucks you
snow.
through and through.
Yeah. This is even that's like nothing. Like you're just standing in the mist, like those things at the like amusement parks that like spray mist in the air. It's like that.
Yeah.
Like you just stand, you're standing in it. All right. Type 7 is your cumulus.
Wait, are there any advantages that I might have?
The advantage of that is that it's rain. It has rain or snow, so for that I will allow you a +1 to storm conditions. You'll be able to call a storm from that. That's like almost storming for that one. Cloud type 7 is the cumulus, which are those really dense, detached-looking clouds, look kind of like cauliflower. That whenever they're sunlit, they look like they're backlit with white, and the bottom parts are dark and horizontal. These usually show up on days of clear skies. Usually dissolve towards the evening. but usually means rain is in the distance. If you see these clouds, I'll let you roll a d4, and you'll know that rain is coming in that number of days. Auto weather prediction on that one.
Roll a d4.
Cloud type number 8 is the stratus cloud, which is a sort of gray cloud with a uniform base. Sometimes, if thick enough, will produce a drizzle, ice, or snow. Usually dissipates a lot, very thin type of cloud. I'll say in this type of weather, your mist ability lasts twice as long.
Nice.
So you'll get 10 minutes in that weather instead of 5 minutes.
Nice. We're on 9, I think.
Yep. Oh wait, yeah. Cloud 9. Cloud 9. Cloud 9 is the cumulonimbus.
Cumulonimbus.
That's the thunderstorm cloud, the heavy, dense, almost mountain or tower-looking cloud.
Thunderhead.
These clouds can produce hail and even tornadoes. These are, if this is the cloud that comes up, consider some kind of huge, like +2 bonus to any kind of storm spell you cast.
You said +2 bonus?
Yep, to any storm or weather-based spell you cast, basically. +2 to almost any weather-based spell.
Nicely done.
And then number 10 is the stratocumulus. Sort of gray or whitish patches, sheets of layered clouds, almost honeycomb in appearance. Unfortunately, if you roll this, no bonuses. It just kind of looks nice. There's no downside to it. But sort of just like spaced out clouds, no big deal. Not clear skies. Cloudy, so still nice for a storm druid, but not, not no clouds, but not clouds that give you any bonus is what you get if you get a 10.
Nice. Alright, that's a good thread of knowledge there. Campbell's gonna mosey on.
Yeah, you're going to descend down to the plane of ice so you can land and rest.
Is he able to find a suitable spot to land and rest?
It's pretty rough. It's, luckily you're protected from the elements. It's definitely cold and crazy down there.
So, how does this work? Do we,
You've landed on the ice, now you just need to rest. Do you want to keep watch while he rests or something, or?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're going to stay awake and let the horse rest. Regains its ability to travel through planes again. It rests up and is able to take you back to the material plane.
Woo! Okay, that was...
Safe and sound.
That was a cool trip, yeah.
Yeah, you got some storm shit. You're basically back right where you left off, in the woods, just outside of Fairmay.
So can I ask Campbell if he would be willing to take me to visit other planes at later occasions?
Says, maybe if we meet again, and he vanishes.
Wow, that was trippy.
That's horses for you.
It was almost a psychedelic adventure, you know what I mean? Traveling through a
full of genies and shit. Yeah.
Back of some extra-dimensional horse.
Yeah.
Communing with genies in the sky.
I feel like I ate mushrooms, even though I'm pretty sure I didn't.
What did you do? It's not my fault. It's kind of my fault, but I didn't do it, but I caused it to happen. It's arguable in the court of law.
Alright, so Jelani, what'd you do?
I don't know if I can actually tell you, honestly. It's not a game.
Well, it's more fun. It's more fun if you don't know, because then it'll be more fun when your character finds out.
Yeah.
Well, aren't there ways that you could have communicated when shit was going down and told me that you were about to fuck my world up?
I made a good faith effort. I tried. Nobody in the hut had a bracer.
Aristophanes in the woods outside of Fairmay, having just returned from a magical adventure, is realizing all the things that's happened to him, the new power he's been granted, the new knowledge he's received from his trip to the elemental plane.
Sweet trip.
Yep. He's well on his way to being, a prominent storm druid, well on his path to controlling the weather, the clouds, the way he used to dream he would do as a boy, when he would stare at the clouds and see shapes and think that he made the shapes. That's where you are.
I can start doing that for real.
Just tell me how you do it. If you can convince me you can do it, I'll allow it. That's all I'm asking for in this game.
I gotta think on it, but I'm sure there's a way.
Yeah, then you don't even need a bracer. You can use the clouds to communicate.
That's not a bad idea.
You're outside the city of Fairmay. You can sort of see in the distance. I think you were kind of spying on the city before you got into this situation you got into, sort of in between the fields and the small town. I can't really call it a city. It is more of a very small town. It's a halfling village, mostly farmlands, little barns, small houses. But it's now very full of trolls. I think you noticed that last time too, that there are trolls that seem to be policing the town. But there you are. The hut is where you left it.
I'm gonna get in the hut. Fuck, who else here with me?
Inside the hut, Viva is asleep and Ramses is asleep in the hut.
Wait, who's asleep?
Viva Caligula?
Tight. Alright, so I'm still in the hut.
Yeah, you're still in the hut, as far as I know. Did anyone take Viva Caligula out of the hut? If you did, tell me now. Alright, so Viva Caligula, you're in the hut. My second question to Viva Caligula
Did you partake in that Locust adventure?
I did not. I haven't played since the 12th.
All right, then you have to take some damage. Sorry,
That sucks.
but there were locusts. There were locusts, and no one protected you.
Thanks, guys.
That's not on me. That's on your friends. That's 27 damage you have to take, Viva Caligula,
Holy shit.
of locust eating. So you got 27 locust damage of just being eaten by locusts while you were asleep.
Awesome.
But you've had some time to recuperate, so even if that did happen, it's been some time since then. You're probably fine now. You probably had plenty of rest. You're probably just now waking up, having recovered from all of your locust bites. You still have some, like, marks on you, like lesions and stuff, leftover bruises. But you're all healed up. You're okay. You wake up in the hut as Aristophanes is climbing back up onto the porch. You can see him through the front screen door. You wake up on the floor.
Groggily, as I look over myself, what in the actual fuck happened?
Yeah. I'll open the door and I'll walk in and I'll say, let's sit down. I've got a heck of a tale to tell you.
Well, I'm already on the ground, so I don't think I need to.
He's got a point. He's sleeping on the floor, as there are no other places to sleep in this witch hut yet.
Okay.
Like I haven't purchased beds or anything. Doesn't come with beds.
All the furniture regenerates after 24 hours.
The only furniture that comes with this hut is the table, the bowl, the pantry, and the cauldron. All of the furniture must be supplied by the owner of the hut.
You're gonna have to go shopping.
Yeah, you guys are floor sleeping right now, but you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. You can have extra rooms. We already talked about you have more and more rooms and stuff, so you can do whatever you want with this hut, but you have to do it yourself. Like, can you guys build this hut yourself? It doesn't come auto-equipped. Alright, so Aristophanes in the hut with Viva Caligula probably just sitting upright on the floor, going to relay to him the most recent events.
The thing with the locust, that was like a long time ago. I vaguely remember us traveling in the hut, like as a group, and then it just happened on our travels, you know, like if you walk anywhere, eventually something attacks you.
No, I think what happened with the locust was you guys were attacked by some Strix outside of Milo. They snuck into the hut at night and attacked you guys, and because of the attack, the hut responded in kind and had a locust attack on itself that attacked everyone inside and even devoured all the furniture and stuff. So the hut was disabled for 24 hours after this Strix attack.
These were the ninjas with guns.
Yeah, the ninjas with guns. Yeah, that hid in the corners. So that's why the locusts happened. And that happened to everybody. And you were able to. You guys were able to eventually get rid of them, but I believe a couple people did take damage. Like Ramses took damage, Viva took damage. Anyone that wasn't in that sphere of protection. But you're not dead. You're just recovered from some locust bites.
So my last adventure. I don't know what happened between that last adventure and when I came into the hut again, but I don't know. I came in, everybody was asleep. Who was asleep? It was Ramses and Viva Caligula.
Everyone else had already left. I mean, you knew Cersei and them left. They told you Cersei teleported to Oestra with Morgan. You knew about that. And then everyone else left on their own. You knew they went off on some adventure on their own, and they didn't want you to join because you were evil and they were about to do blinding light stuff. So
that's
Juan
right.
left
They got all high and mighty on me.
Juan took Kit away and was like, "I'm taking Kit," and went with Alec to go do blinding light stuff with Turtle Flap. So you were left behind with Viva and Ramses in the hut, and no one else. Is Froderick there or not? I wasn't sure.
Frederick is still there.
So Froderick's also there. Froderick's in the hut. He's just been standing there waiting for Cersei to come back, waiting for orders pretty much. He's not very smart. He's a zombie. He's a mythic zombie, so he's doing better than most zombies, but he's still like...
No, he's guarding the hut.
Yeah.
That's why.
Cersei say, I stay here. Yeah, he's like, I'm not leaving. Just no matter what happens, Froderick's staying in the hut. And he's still just standing there in the corner, watching everything that's happened. Relate to Viva anything else that happened, and Froderick will note it as well.
Yeah, so it started when I went on this hunt, I just wanted to get some experience points. And then I ran into the swamp dragon, and he kind of sucked. So I ran into some fellow kitsune who turned me on to dragon hunting. So I put together this team of me plus one of the kitsune.
Like 10 barbarians that you'd paid to join you.
On a fucking dragon hunting quest with a bunch of barbarians and left me?
Well, you were still recovering from
you're still recovering
from your locust bites.
Whatever. I don't want to. Well, now that I'm awake.
Well, I'm sure he would have wished you could have come with him because he's about to tell you what happened.
Yeah. So I take my team of barbarians back to the hut to get some rest to go on this dragon hunt, and this is where it's kind of iffy whether this is my fault or not. One of my guys gets hungry in the middle of the night, right? So unbeknownst to me, when everybody else is sleeping, he gets up and decides to make himself a midnight snack in the cauldron.
You fucker!
I don't know. I was sleeping. It winds up transporting us.
Roderick will do a roll to make that stop because he knows that you're not supposed to fuck with the cauldron.
He was there, but He wasn't there to make us do this. All this stuff already happened. It's already canon. Aristophanes already had an adventure surrounding this thing happening. Frodo could have seen this happen, so this is what Frodo saw happening. Go ahead.
So I don't know what the stew was. I don't know what he put in this cauldron, but it transported us to the fucking other side of the swamp. And so we woke up very surprised at our situation.
So be mad, but I also gave you the recipe to get out of Delbo.
Can Froderick roll a perception on the pantry to see what's in there that didn't used to be there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a 15.
It is a some sort of swamp-like potion that has a Vodyani mark on it. The people you most recently met after you trampled their tents. It's a potion made by them. The hut basically returned to that area whenever they used it in conjunction with the swamp water.
Much to our surprise.
So you now have a way to get in and out of Delbert by teleporting.
Potent swamp water around these parts. Yeah, so we all started cracking eggs and started trying to make our way back to the town, right?
Well, basically, you were trying to make it back to the town. You were trying to make it to the dragon.
Well,
Also the town. Part of it was the town. You're right.
And then, because the first time I saw the dragon, I'd walked from the town to the edge of the swamp. So that was the original plan until we got sidetracked by teleporting away. But we tried to make our way back, and we get to, I guess it was just outside the town, on the other side of the swamp.
They got to the north part, just south of Fairmay, on the edge of the swamp, in between Fairmay and Delbert, without going into the swamp, because they knew from Cersei's advice to avoid the swamp.
We realized at that time that, I didn't really know how to get back into the city. Because there's no overland route. There's the swamp and then there's the ocean.
And no one was there to explain the cauldron to Aristophanes.
Yeah. I still had no idea why we even teleported to make
Okay,
soup.
Broderick will tell you, Mistress makes soup in cauldron, take us places.
So basically what this said is that you fucked up, and now we're lost.
We're not lost. He knows where you are. He'll tell you guys are just outside of Fairmay.
I need to get back into the town.
Yeah, you've actually trampled some farmland just south of Fairmay. Aristophanes will probably tell you what he saw in Fairmay. He might even tell you about the other things that happened to him. I don't know if that might be a secret of just Aristophanes' own. This is something that happened to him. He doesn't want to share it. I don't know. That's up to him.
Long story short,
Alright,
we walk out of the hut, I go after the dragon, and my team gets fucked up. It was a complete and utter fucking disaster. Everybody dies, and the hut takes it to the legs from some acid dragon breath. So we hightail it out of there.
Yeah, it heals itself, so it was fine. It did take some acid damage, but nothing really bad happened.
And I end up traveling back up to the edge of the forest near Fairmay.
Mm-hmm.
And lack of anything better to do because I couldn't get back in the city. I go explore in the forest, hunt down some creatures, get some experience points. Run into this strange black horse, an extra-dimensional horse that if you convince it to give you a ride, it'll take you to other planes of existence. I hitch a ride to the elemental plane of air and wind up. Like at the center of this dimension is a giant genie there, and made a pact with it that if I could somehow figure out a way to kill, what was it, an Ifrit?
It's an air genie that wants you to kill fire genies.
Yeah, if I could figure out a way to kill a fire genie, it would, for each fire genie I killed, basically grant me a wish, like come to my aid, do me a favor. And then I left, and I think on the way back I learned some cool weather stuff to aid me.
Alright.
That was pretty cool. Made my way back, and then the horse disappeared, and I made my way back to the hut, and that's where, I guess, that takes us to the present moment.
Here we are.
So you learned about clouds. That's what you're telling. Storm knowledge that you learned about clouds.
Hey, meteorology affected science.
Alright. Calm down. Right? You're not even in the hut. Alright?
And in our game, it gave him very specific bonuses, so it is something he can use in-game.
Now that Roderick seems to have some idea of how this hut travels, maybe we should make an attempt to try and get back into it.
Well, you said the only two ways to get there, from the ocean and from the swamp, and we obviously asked Dragon Man that you didn't.
So we're north of Cranagris?
You are north of Cranaris, south of Fairmay, just on the edge of the swamp, north of Delbuk. Or a little more than north than that, you've actually run through some of the fields, some of the farmland, south of Fairmay, on the middle of the peninsula there, the northern peninsula.
Let's walk this hut over to Oestra.
Yeah. We'll have to crack an egg. And can we pull our efforts again?
Yeah, of course, you can always pull your efforts to... Do you remember how many eggs there are? If not, I'm going to roll a random number, and then I'm going to roll a random number how many... Because some were rotten eggs, so I'll roll a random number for both if you guys don't remember.
Fuck. Well, no, I've been gone for a long time. That hen would have had a full complement of eggs, I would
Yeah, I'll roll
think.
some D's for eggs.
We had about 10 eggs, of which some of them were rotten. I don't remember.
Alright, so now there are 9 more. So there's 27. We'll say that there's 27 eggs. And I'll just roll a percentage chance of whether or not it's rotten at this point.
Okay.
If you crack it. But there are 27 eggs.
If we do perception on the eggs, they are rotten.
Yes. You can pick you can do it like one egg at a time. Pick up an egg and then roll a perception check on it, and I'll let you know if you can tell if it's rotten.
I got a 17 on the first one.
I got a 22.
I mean, you all think maybe. This one's hard to tell, but it seems, it doesn't seem like one of the fresh ones. This is one of the ones that's been there a while. You can't tell if it's rotten for sure, but it looks like it might be. You don't know if you want to risk it. Because some of them are starting to smell. You have noticed that some of the eggs have started to smell.
Alright, Broderick eats all the smelly eggs.
Smart move. Frederick eats all the smelly eggs. Let's see how many of the eggs that is. We'll say that's only 4 of the eggs.
We still got 23 eggs left.
Yep.
Alright,
And a certain number of them are still... So you have how many left?
23?
yeah.
A certain number of them are still rotten eggs. But I'll just roll if you guys get one, or you can roll a perception check on it and see every time. But
Yep. Let's roll
it's very
perception
small.
on
It's
the
now a
next
very
egg.
small number of them.
Another 17.
Who had the 26?
15.
Alright, so to Viva, this egg doesn't smell, but it looks funny, and he doesn't want to risk it.
Fuck this egg.
So he says have Frederick eat this egg too. Alright, so minus 1 more egg.
Alright, another perception on the next egg.
Alright.
Ew, not good.
18.
This egg looks okay, but you guys, after having so many rotten eggs, are very suspicious. It looks fine, but do you want to risk it? The house still smells like rotten egg.
Nope,
Just
Broderick
careful.
eat egg.
Frederick eat egg, you have 1 less egg.
Alright,
And he's gonna eat all the eggs.
17.
12.
You guys become less and less sure with every egg. Every egg kind of smells funny now that you think about it. How can you tell when an egg is fresh or not? All these eggs look bad now. Now that one was smelled kind of bad, you're like, maybe these are all bad? Is it contagious? How does
Let's
eggs
say
really
fuck
rotten
it,
work?
let's try our luck.
I know, how about this? As a zombie, would Froderick be able to tell which eggs were actually bad and kind of dead?
Yeah, you can use a perception check or Frederick to see if he could taste which ones were rotten.
He has to taste them all.
I'll let you roll 1 perception check to see how good his tastes are
But he's gotta
overall.
catch them all.
Froderick, not gonna do it today, that's 14.
Yeah, his zombie taste buds aren't that alive, so it's hard for him to tell what they all tasted like.
Look at all the eggs, he has no idea.
Yeah, that's all kind of tastes. It's like Rocky eating that protein shake. He just kind of ate them all at once. It was no big deal.
Will you assholes help me out? Come on.
Can I do a knowledge nature on these eggs?
Yeah, you can. This is D&D. If you can suggest an idea, I can try to accept it.
Alright, so I had a 19 on knowledge to tell if these eggs are rotten or not.
But no, with knowledge nature, Viva has had experience with eggs before, and he can sort of tell through tapping them or something. I don't know. We'll have to Google it later. Viva knows the secret method of discerning which eggs are rotten and finds 5 eggs that he thinks may be a risky target, risky eggs. So he would tell it, first, eat these 5 eggs, and then I think we're clear.
Froderick eats eggs.
All right, how many eggs remain? All
Like 17.
right, so you guys have 17 eggs.
Alright,
I'm
we're gonna
heading
roll
back to the city of Odessa or
Olestra.
Olestra.
We need to go
This isn't
south
Heroes.
and then west.
Well, if you go south, you're going to walk through the swamp, because
No,
you're
we
north
wanna
of the
go
swamp
south.
right now. Well, then don't go south. That's what I'm saying.
I need a map. I know.
We need to go. I have a map in front of me. We need to go southwest.
Alright, so we go southwest and then we're gonna go
And then that'll pretty much bring us to
southwest
where.
through the swamp. We need to go southeast. We're gonna take the land route. We're gonna go southeast towards Palm Beach. Yeah, so we want to travel south
And then southwest.
and then cruise back west, get to Palm Beach, and then head south or west towards Oestra.
Okay.
Are we
Alright, so we're cracking eggs.
Yep, cracking eggs and rolling spellcrafts. Who's got the best spellcraft?
Not spellcraft, use magic device.
Use magic device.
also not this. I've
Well,
only got.
we can pool all our rolls to get it going.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
And all 3 of you together should hopefully be able to get a 30. You just have to get a minimum 10 each, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
something like that. It's not hard.
Alright, let me check.
You all have a 50-50 chance of being able to contribute to this.
Probably that.
I got a 10.
Bare minimum.
I got a 12.
Alright, you got 22. Only
So
need-
you got a 12 and a 10,
So Frederick only needs 8 to make it.
and Froderick gets a -1.
Oh, God.
He only needs a 9 or higher.
And he got a natural 1!
So you guys do it. So you tell this thing to head southeast. As you guys are heading through the Strix territory outside of Milo, the weather gets kind of bad. You kind of hear the Strix in the distance, but you don't have any encounter with them. It does get kind of dark and cloudy, very gray out.
Hey, Cloudman.
Hey, make the weather worse. They fly. Let's make it so that they, can't fly around.
If I were to cast Obscuring Mist, can I just shroud us in a
Yeah, that would help.
fog?
I'll give you guys some
Hopefully
concealment.
blend in, right?
Yeah, I'll give you guys some concealment. You can cast that.
Cool.
It's not very large, but it will help.
Yeah. So I cast Obscuring Mist
Okay,
around the hut.
done. You are obscured some.
Let's keep walking and then change directions as needed.
Alright, you guys are headed towards the tar pit. Feel like you probably need to turn towards the cemetery, or you're going to head into the tar pit.
Break another egg. 18.
Solid 4.
22 again.
It's going to be a 3 for me.
So 25 total. So someone needs to surge if you guys want to succeed.
I'll surge.
Add 1 to that.
Add 3 to that.
You're still one short.
Add 6.
Alright.
Add 6.
Alright, you guys made it. Using those amount of mythic points, you guys were able to convince this hut, just barely. You guys like made it right to the edge of the tar pit. And even its little chicken feet started walking in the tar. It's got like tar on its toes now. But you guys turned it before you got stuck in the tar. Just in time. You've reached the end of another episode. Just tune in next time for more Long Distance Dungeons and Dragons Dinner Theater.